Catwoman and him, or
McDonald's got Tim Burton fired. So then McDonald's vicariously fucked over Val Kilmer because they had to bring in fucking Joel Schumacher to make a goddamn mockery of everything. You know what? Honestly, though, Batman Forever, in comparison to Batman and Robin, like, oh man, it's I don't know, it's a merciful death as opposed to like a long drawn out thing. You know what I mean? Like, because you had like Nicole Kidman and honestly Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey, gave it their fucking all. They showed up and they were just like, we're gonna do this. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Uma Thurman just chewed the scenery the whole time. They were just phoning it in 1,000,000% because they look cute as action figures. And how did we get on this? I'm sorry.
I don't remember. Oh, it's just like...
We're talking about movies. Whoop. We're talking about movies. Can you hear?
I can hear me.
Yeah, I'm okay now.
Oh. Real quick, just while I'm on the worst tangent, the craziest thing about Curse of Chucky is that Jennifer Tilly comes back. Did you get that? Okay, so...
Yeah, I knew that she had a doll of herself from...
Jennifer Tilly plays Chucky's girlfriend in the fourth...
and then she possesses that doll, right? I knew...
Yeah, Chucky kills her and puts her soul in a doll.
Right.
In this newest Chucky movie, you find out that they found the actress Jennifer Tilly, who happened to look like that lady, and then took her body over.
Is that what happened in this last movie? I was working on other things.
Yeah, no, that was the whole thing. Is like Jennifer Tilly happened to look like that woman,
funny.
So they drove all the way to Hollywood, took her body over, and then...
How did I miss that?
That's hilarious.
Because 9 million things happened in that movie. Way too many stupid, crazy things happened in that movie. And, yeah. But at least Joel Schumacher did not make it, was my point.
Oh, yeah.
Right. No neon, weird graffiti shit happened.
I'm trying to think of, you guys are talking about like horror films that you watch, and I'm trying to think of the name of this one. I want to say it's Creepshow.
Oh, yes.
Where there's like multiple
John
stories.
Or does Stephen King?
Stephen King writes some of it.
And then Romero, I think, was involved.
Yeah, it's many stories, so I think they're all written by different people. But I want to say Creepshow 2 is the one we watch the most.
Garbage.
The one where the one that I can think of that I remember is with Ted Danson, where he's like he's on the beach, and then like the guy's got like a camera on him watching him drown and stuff.
Yep.
And I was like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, this is the scary stuff that I am like, what are we watching, Chris? Turn it off!
Is that the one with the gargoyle, too? I can't remember.
That, like, is in the box?
No, that's, like, under the stairs, right?
Yeah.
No, there's one where it's, like, there's a gargoyle. I can't remember. All these things are blending together. I've seen them.
Was there one with, like, a guy who had a new hand that was, like, doing... It was like a replacement hand that did evil stuff while he was sleeping. It like choked people out and stuff.
That's Idle Hands, the movie.
No, not Possessed by the Devil. That movie's awesome. Idle Hands is fun.
I watched that.
Seth Green and
I watched that a bunch.
Alba.
I watched that a bunch.
Seth Green?
Sawa? Maybe. No, this is like it was like a surgeon. It was kind of like the premise of the movie Body Parts. Have you ever seen that, where this guy gets a replacement hand that used to belong to a serial killer, and the
it sounds familiar,
starts choking people out while he's unconscious and stuff? Just starts killing everybody that's within arms.
But while he's he's how do you get far without waking up like that? You know?
No, I remember like the Creepshow cover though. It was like a skeleton at a theater box.
Yep.
Yeah, and it would always start with a cartoon. There would be like cartoon stuff, and then the like words Creepshow, and it was as if Creepshow was a comic book and that a kid was reading, and then and then they'd go to read it, and then the stories would be what he was reading.
Okay.
Every now and then, either Amazon or like Walmart or one of those guys will put up all of the Tales of the Crypt.
Oh man!
Like all of them, 9 seasons, 8 seasons. I forget how many there are. But
what a misleading show that was. That was another one of those things that the person who let me watch Child's Play would let me stay up late enough to watch Tales from the Crypt. Because
Mental note: be very careful who babysits my child.
Tales from the Crypt,
not you.
The Crypt Keeper is actually funny.
He's funny. But
he's funny
in a morbid way.
Yeah. But it's so silly that it's all of the horror that it's so punny and so cute. And they actually made a children's
cartoon.
Yeah. But Tales from the Crypt Tales from the Crypt had zero things for children. After the cute puppet,
I couldn't.
Oh yeah, it was not a kids show.
No,
it was on
not
HBO.
Even
late night.
It was HBO.
It's HBO.
Fuck that person that watched that.
I remember being 12.
I watched stand up on HBO as a young child, really offensive 80s stand up.
Oh yeah,
I should not have watched.
I could not watch. I couldn't even hear the theme song to Tales from the Crypt. I would hear my older brother, watching it in his room, and I would be like, no! Put the pillow over my head and try to pass out before anything bad happened to me.
See, that's the kind of Patrick that I imagine, but now you're all like Mr. I love horror. Is it because you're deeply knowledgeable about the practical effects, so you can watch it and be all like, now this is 100%.
So I didn't like horror movies. I didn't like haunted houses. And then started seeing things on Discovery Channel that were literally this works, stunt behind the scenes stunt shows, special effects, makeup. My parents bought me the effects movies, and then behind the haunted house stuff. And then it was I'm gonna go to a haunted house in Houston, and I went, had a great time. The only thing I didn't like was they showed literal death videos in the line in Houston,
snuff films,
like Faces of
Death. They were showing Faces of Death, and I was just that's too much.
Was that one of those things where we didn't know that wasn't okay until somebody started making money off of it? Was there not a law in place against that?
I don't know if there is even a law now. I don't. But
did we all collectively just be no more of that?
Yeah, I
no more of that.
I hope I never die on film. I don't want to be on a.
Well,
I don't want to be
in a world where that is almost certain. Anyway.
Is chock full of death videos. I can almost guarantee.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. That's what the big trouble with Facebook Live was.
Right.
Is that people started to get murdered and attacked on live, and they couldn't. It was live, so they couldn't find them fast enough to figure out how to stop the fucking thing. And then thousands of millions of people watched it.
Facebook started doing. They had to put an algorithm, quote unquote, in place that looks at posts for the live stuff to see if there are cues that the person may be suicidal.
Oh,
because people started doing that too, and so now they have things that automatically alert, to say, hey, we think this is a.
I think that's why there's a lot.
I think it's I think they maybe the words in the posts and things like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but. Yeah,
so
because
it's if this person's posted stuff that seems real bad, if they go live, we're not going to go ahead and let that happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I assume it's something like that.
I think I've brought it up before, but I don't do haunted houses because honestly, the idea that they were playing that would have been a better scenario for me when I was a kid because the haunted house I went into had Beetlejuice outside of it. And Beetlejuice had an animated series out at the time. It was a friendly, fun character. And I was I made my mom take me into this haunted house because Beetlejuice is outside and he's
Can't be that
fun.
Bad. Yeah.
To watch to watch the actual movie later, he's not fun.
Oh no, he's a terrible thing.
He's a bad dude.
Yeah,
no nice.
But I was super familiar with the Cartoon Network series where him and Lydia go on adventures and he's like a genie essentially. And so I was like, Beetlejuice, and then I get in there. There's nothing Beetlejuice about it. It's just dudes with chainsaws and fucking. It's a real ass haunted house.
Yeah.
And my mom just had to drag a 7-year-old me screaming from step one into this place. I'm just no! And just started crying. And she just has to drag my ass through this place while all these people are trying to do their jobs.
Yeah.
All these people, we're the first people to walk in forever, so they're just, all their attention is on us. And all of it's the worst. All of it takes so long. It takes longer than it should have because I wasn't walking. I was just inert, just hanging. I was just
carrying you through.
In a fugue state, being drugged through.
There was nothing worse I shouldn't say there's nothing worse. It's really terrible when you're in a haunted house acting and you jump out at a group to scare them, and then you see the kid that like the person's holding, and you're like, oh man, like you just made me scare a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Like that's on you. If you're carrying them, don't take them in.
And that was the whole thing. Is I badgered my mom for 45 minutes to take me in. She knew she
It's a
knew
life
it wasn't
lesson
a
at this
thing,
point.
and I was just better at being terrible than
It's
she
kind
was
of
at
good
being
that
a
she
good
brought
mom.
you through.
Yeah, you learned
You know
a
what?
lesson.
Yeah,
I don't go into them now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you
she's
just
like,
saved
fine.
You saved $100 this year by not going to haunted houses.
Yeah, I don't ever go to them either.
Yeah.
Largely because people like poking me, and I just know I'd go into that place. People are just very drawn to being in my area, and I've had a lot of close talkers in my life, and people always want to hug me.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume these people who are going to be actors are going to go, oh, we'll get this one. All right, look at her, and everyone will be all over me. People will be grinding up and yelling and dripping goober on me, and
They grinding up on you?
Dripping
I don't know what
goober.
happens.
I don't know what haunted houses you're going to.
Are you
Don't
not
go to
given
any.
like? I can only imagine you're given like very detailed instructions on like how close you can come to touching people and
Yeah.
stuff.
Generally.
Like just working on that
Yeah.
end, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it.
I
Don't touch anybody, right?
Oh yeah, like not even touch anybody. Do they give you like signs to like ease up, like in a visible sense? Like
Oh,
you see
yeah, we
somebody
used-
doing like.
Yeah, you can tell somebody's like. You can generally tell if someone's going to be like are tensed up and are looking to punch. I think I said it before. I got kicked by more girls than I did by young boys. So, which I always thought was hilarious because they would the guys would be pushing them forward, hiding behind them, and it's just like I love this role reversal. Like this is
Oh
great.
yeah, I was
This
like, you're
is-
less likely to hurt
yeah.
this girl.
and then
so,
she
yeah.
just would let you have it. Super fun.
So that was like.
Did you have to wear a cup?
Is that a pattern
no.
you learned?
First year I learned
Did you?
right away to not stay in the face. If you're gonna jump in someone's face to scare, you jumped right out. Like get in, get out, and then they can't hit you. I mean that's what I would tell people. Like you scare, you get out.
'Cause
Because
you're
if you
like
stay
a-
in their face and they're gonna hit you, they're gonna hit you.
And then you have. There's
so funny.
no legal recourse.
No. I mean, like,
There, right?
yeah, like, we'd probably talk to that person and be like, look, you can't touch people. And most haunted houses now have police on staff. They're off duty, but they're still police officers.
This is
and
back in the Wild West days.
They'll come and do the
Haunted
talk.
houses.
Well, I've worked in a haunted house that didn't have police on staff, but they did have basically bouncers. And those guys were really good at looking after us because I was probably 160 at the time. And like I couldn't. There's no way I could fight anybody.
When you were like 5 years old, you kicked the ass of like a bunch of kids in jail.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
like
You
you're
can
a
stand up
baby
for yourself.
ninja.
You can stand up for yourself and others when you're really young because no one has muscle or knows how to fight yet. So
That's true.
if you have any sort of like self-defense training, then you're going to do great. But as
Yeah.
an adult, like
Beating up children is very easy.
I submit to the court Exhibit A against Wendell.
they have zero musculature. No, I mean, but yeah, no, I totally
Similar to the
know what you
Chucky
mean.
dolls.
It's like kids, like to ever say I got into a fight when as a kid is not
Yeah.
really saying anything
Yeah,
because kids are just scared, jittery animals and they just like flee and
Yeah.
don't do anything.
It's real dangerous to get into a fight now as an adult.
See, I would be
Super
I would be way more scared of just every adult group that walk through on like any physicality.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. The people that usually gave us trouble that were adults were under the influence of something.
Of course.
Those are the guys that were usually the worst. Like the worst experience, and like I thought I was going to get my ass beat in a parking lot. No one was going to know was. And we changed rules right after that about how far away we can go and stuff. It was into the night, and these guys were hanging out, and I went to I was playing a character that was a butler. I had intestines that I would throw towards people, and I could snap them before they hit, and a tray and everything. And it was just a goofy guy. And this guy was like, "Don't come near me," and So I did, and
As was my job.
I came around the vehicle he was at, and he was urinating, like on this car.